I thought I would make a video because I've been buying a lot of used books lately, and I want to get it off my mind and get them downstairs and put away in stacks. But today is January the 26th. It is 8:19 at night. It is snowing outside, and I am sitting here doing this video. So, first of all, I want to mention what I'm reading. Today, I mentioned in one of my videos that I was getting on Interlibrary Loan Rahu Murakami's little book, little novel, Almost Transparent Blue. I've been reading this, and I mentioned I've been reading his Coin Locker Babies. I'm still reading that. So I've been reading that today, reading this. And I mentioned I was getting an Iris Murdoch biography in the mail. I got this. I've been reading this, Iris Murdoch, A Life by Peter J. Conradi. And as I mentioned, I'm still reading The Good Apprentice by Iris Murdoch, and I am reading her letters, Living on Paper, Letters from Iris Murdoch, 1934 to 1995, edited by L. Rel Corner and Ann Rowe. So I've been reading those in the afternoons. As I mentioned in my previous videos, I read my commentaries on the Psalms in the mornings, and I read books like this in the mornings for devotions, The Garden of Paradise, or Holy Prayers and Exercises by John Arnett, and I'm still reading True Christianity. Those are the kind of books I read in the morning. I read my Bible, I pray, I sit in silence. So, and as far as my diary, today I finished on page 84. So tomorrow I start on page 85. If I'm still alive in the morning, I don't die during the night. I'm on page 85. Tomorrow is the 27th of January 2016. I got my February diary already. I think I showed that in my last video. My wife leaves on the 1st of February and comes back on the 12th of February, Lord willing. She doesn't get into a plane wreck or the world comes to an end where North Korea decides to send hydrogen bombs towards America. So anyway, so that's where I'm at in my journal. That's where I'm reading in the morning. And these are the books I got today at a thrift store, a couple thrift stores. I got this book by E.H. Gombrich, A Little History of the World. I got this book, The Fall of Yugoslavia, The Third Balkan War by Misha Glinny. As I mentioned in my previous videos, I'm into European history, so I got that. I found a William Gibson novel, Virtual Light. You know, I don't read much science fiction, but I like William Gibson. I got that today. I found this memoir, The Piano Shop on the Left Bank, Discovering a Forgotten Passion in a Paris Auteur by Thrad Carthart. Got that. I got this novel, The Bartender's Tale by Evan Doug. I collect his writings. I got 8 or 9 of his novels. I found this biography today, The Life of Patricia Highsmith, Beautiful Shadow, The Life of Patricia Highsmith. She was a writer. She wrote detective stories. She wrote that novel, The Carol, that's made into movie just recently. She wrote that movie, that book The Talented Mr. Ripley that was made into a movie several years ago. This is by Andrew Wilson. I found this novel by Louis Ankerkloss, The Embezzler. And I found this, The Glass Palace, a novel by M. Deviv Gush, something like that. I found that. So I found those at thrift stores, and I found this at the Book Nook where I volunteer. Ambrose Pierce, The Devil's Dictionary. I found this won the Booker Prize this year, The Brief History of Seven Killings by Martin James. I got that. I found this at the Book Nook, The Sun, a novel by Philip Meyer. And I got this at a thrift store, The Age of Napoleon by J. Christopher Harold. I found this book at a thrift store, Christianity, Social Tolerance, and Homosexuality by John Boswell. This is a book on American history, The Impending Crisis, 1848 to 1861, by David M. Potter. I found this short stories by Edna O'Brien, Saints and Sinners. I found a novel by Pat Barker, The Eye in the Door, the winner of the Booker Prize for her book The Ghost Road in 1999. And I found a little book, The Life and Works of George Orwell. It's like an introduction, a little biographical sketch. I mainly got this for the photos in this book. I like European history. That's why I got The Age of Napoleon. Oh, I was going to mention, I have this J. Christopher Harold. He wrote The Age of Napoleon. I also have this book by him, The Mistress to an Age, The Life of Madame de Sade. See, I have that book by him, who wrote this book. Got them in stacks. So yeah, I got this. I was really glad to find the brief history of the Seven Killings. I've read good reviews about this book. And so, yeah, I got this George Orwell. It's like a high school book, but it has all these photographs in it. And I put it with my George Orwell collection. See, you know, like those kinds of illustrations. And, oh. So anyway, I got that. So yeah, like I said, I've been reading, mainly today I read Almost Transparent Blue. It says in the back here about this shocking prize-winning novel that torched a nerve in Japan and became a million seller. This thing is pretty raw. Kind of X-rated, to tell you the truth. But I have been enjoying reading this Life of Iris Murdoch, and I decided I'm going to read this biography up until I get to the time of her letters. I stopped in about 1948 in her letters, so I got that much to read before I get to the 1944 to 1956. But I'm really enjoying this. I like biographies, literary biographies. It's very interesting. Besides that, I got nothing else coming in the mail. Oh, I did order a book, but I'll mention that in my coming videos. So that's about it. I don't know what I was going to share besides the books I've been buying at thrift stores and my journal and what I'm reading and yeah, not much else. Today is a Tuesday, tomorrow is a Wednesday. I don't plan to. I've gone out to the thrift stores this week. I got some books set aside at the Book Nook at the library. I set aside some books, and the main character is a vampire, which I'm not into vampire books, but I do like vampire movies. And I found these two hardbacks by this writer who wrote these two novels that got great reviews. And one of the reviews that one of one in the back, Nick Cave really liked one of these vampire novels, and I'm a real fan of the music of Nick Cave. And when I'm at the Book Nook, I'm always looking for free books to bring home. Every time you volunteer, I get a $2 book, and so I always would put something aside. So not much else to say. So I suppose I'll close until the next time. Bye.